If I asked you which country pumps the most foreign cash into the US economy, you'd probably say China, right? It's all over the news, this constant drumbeat of economic rivalry and influence. Well, what if I told you that story is completely wrong? Not just a little off, but way off. The official numbers for the end of 2024 are in, and they tell a story that's radically different from what most people assume. The total value of all foreign direct investment held in the United States has hit a massive $5.71 trillion. But the countries making up that number, the nations that are truly betting billions on America, are not the ones you'd expect. We're about to break down the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis to reveal which nations are genuinely pouring the most money into the U.S. We'll count down the top 5 biggest foreign investors, and I promise you, the country at number 1 is going to be a shocker. The myth versus the reality. Before we start the countdown, let's just clear the air. The popular narrative is that emerging economies, especially the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, and China, are becoming the dominant financial players in the US. The data says the exact opposite. Combined, all BRICS investment adds up to less than 2% of all foreign-owned assets in the United States. In fact, as a group, their total investment has actually dropped since 2019. And China, the country everyone thinks is buying up America, not only is it nowhere near the top 5, but it has also been a major divestor, meaning it's been pulling its money out of the US. This isn't a political hot take, it's a statistical reality. The real powerhouses of foreign investment in America are a group of quiet, consistent, and deeply integrated partners. The real story isn't about rivalry, it's about a massive vote of confidence in the US economy from some of its oldest allies. So, if it's not China, who is it? Let's get to the list. The countdown, number 5. Kicking off our list at number 5 is a global manufacturing giant, Germany. Now, it can be a little tricky to pin down Germany's exact rank because of complex corporate structures, but when we look at the ultimate beneficial owner, the entity that's actually at the top of the ownership chain, Germany holds the third largest investment position in the US at a whopping $677.3 billion. This makes it an undeniable force in the American economy. Germany's investment isn't just some number on a spreadsheet. You see it on our highways and in our factories. It's a primary source of manufacturing FDI, especially in cars and industrial machinery. Think about companies like Siemens, a leader in industrial tech, or the big German automakers that have built huge plants across the southern US. Lately, Germany's investment has been picking up speed. The Bureau of Economic Analysis noted a nearly $40 billion increase in German investment in 2024 alone. This is being driven by companies trying to build more stable supply chains and tap into the American skilled workforce for advanced manufacturing. It's a story of industrial partnership, not just financial speculation. The countdown, number 4. At number 4, we have a country that really punches above its weight, the Netherlands, with an official investment position of $726.4 billion. This is where things get interesting and where we need to understand a key concept in global finance. The Netherlands is often used as a holding location for international companies because of its business-friendly tax laws. The official data from the BEA puts the Netherlands at number 4 based on where the foreign parent company is located. However, the BEA also tracks the ultimate beneficial owner, or UBO, which I mentioned with Germany. This tells us where the money truly originates. When you look at the US through that lens, investment from the Netherlands is much, much lower. This shows that many companies based there are ultimately owned by investors in other countries. So, while a Dutch-based company might be cutting the check, the real decision-maker and the one reaping the profits could be German, British, or even American. Despite this financial maze, the Netherlands is a critical gateway for money flowing into the US, especially in finance and trade. Its spot at number 4 shows just how central it is to the plumbing of the global economy. The countdown, number 3. Our neighbor to the north, Canada, lands at number 3. The Canadian investment position in the US is a colossal $732.9 billion. This really shouldn't be a shock. The US and Canadian economies are probably the most intertwined in the world. Canadian investment makes up a full 14% of all cumulative foreign investment in the United States, making it a foundational piece of the American economic landscape. And unlike the financial webs of a country like the Netherlands, Canadian investment investment is deeply physical. It's in factories, energy pipelines, and retail stores you see every day. Decades of cross-border supply chains, especially in the auto industry, means that a product isn't just made in America or made in Canada, it's made in North America. Canada's role isn't just historic either, it's growing. Between 2018 and 2023, Canada boosted its investment stake in the U.S. by over 40%. This represents a stable, long-term partnership built on shared geography, similar economic policies, and the simple fact that when one of our economies does well, the other one usually does too. Canadian money in the U.S. isn't speculative, it's structural. The countdown, number 2. Securing the second spot is the United Kingdom with a jaw-dropping $742.7 billion. For a long time, the UK was the undisputed champ. Up until a few years ago, it held the top investor spot in the US. And while it's since been overtaken, it remains an absolute giant. Its investment grew by over $52 billion in 2024 alone, a huge jump. What's fascinating about British investment is where it's concentrated. While manufacturing is a big part of it, the UK is a truly dominant force in America's finance and insurance sectors. This sector is the second largest target for all foreign investment in the US, worth nearly $600 billion, and the UK is a primary driver of that. The deep historical and cultural ties between the US and the UK are written all over these numbers. From London's financial markets to American industries, the flow of capital and ideas has been a two-way street for centuries. The UK's position at number 2 is a testament to the enduring strength of this transatlantic relationship, proving that old allies are still our most important partners. The big reveal. And now for the number 1 foreign investor in the United States. It's not a European power, and it's not our next-door neighbor. The largest foreign investor in the American economy, with a total position of $754.1 billion at the end of 2024, is Japan. This is the number that should reframe how you see the global economy. While the headlines are filled with geopolitical drama involving other nations, it's Japan that is quietly and massively invested in the foundation of American industry. Japan alone accounts for about 14% of all foreign investment in the country. So, where is all this Japanese money going? The answer is simple: manufacturing. The manufacturing sector is the undisputed king of foreign investment, making up over 42% of the total at an incredible $2.42 trillion. And Japan is the king of manufacturing investment. Japanese companies like Toyota and Honda have poured billions into the United States to build and expand their operations, especially in the automotive and electronic sectors. A huge part of this is driven by a strategic global pivot. In the wake of the pandemic, companies are desperate to build more resilient supply chains. They can't afford to have a critical part stuck on a ship halfway across the world. Because of this, Japanese firms are doubling down on their U.S. facilities to be closer to the American market, using our skilled workforce and stable environment. Within manufacturing, the single biggest subsector for foreign investment is chemical manufacturing, which makes up $827.5 billion of the total. This is the bedrock for countless other industries, from plastics to pharmaceuticals, and Japan is a leading investor here as well. Japan's top spot is the ultimate vote of confidence, not just in America's consumers, but in its ability to make things. Why this all matters? Okay, so the top 5 are Japan, the UK, Canada, the Netherlands, and Germany. It's a neat list, but why should the average person care? It matters because this $5.71 trillion isn't just some abstract number. It delivers directly into jobs, innovation, and a powerful revival of American industry. Foreign-owned companies support millions of good-paying jobs all across the country. More importantly, this investment is fueling an American manufacturing renaissance. Between 2021 and 2024, manufacturing construction spending in the U.S. grew by an astounding amount. We've seen dozens of new factory projects announced, each valued over $1 billion, and a huge chunk of these mega projects came from foreign-owned companies. This boom has been supercharged by federal incentives for key technologies like computer chips and electric vehicles. We've seen massive investments from companies like Taiwan's TSMC in Arizona and South Korea's Samsung in Texas to build the the next generation of semiconductors right here at home. These companies aren't from our top 5 countries, but they are part of the exact same global trend. The world's top tech firms are choosing America as the place to build the future. This wave of investment strengthens our national security, helps bring critical supply chains back home, and creates a new generation of high-tech jobs. The numbers don't lie. America is still the world's largest and most attractive place to invest. So, the next time you hear people talking about who really owns a piece of the American economy, you'll know the real story. It's not about the countries making the most noise. It's about our most stable and long-standing allies who are quietly betting big on America. It's a story driven by Japan's manufacturing muscle, Britain's financial firepower, and Canada's deep-rooted partnership. Which country on this list surprised you the most? Was it Japan at number 1, or the fact that China was nowhere in sight? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to understand the real forces shaping our economy, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.